Hey guys and occasional girls, my name is GrrrVahrrr and this is Bioshock. But before I start with the story of the game itself, it is vital to talk a little bit about the events that took place before the game starts, which we discover through collecting audio logs during the game, and parts of which I found even more interesting than the game's core story. So, years ago, Andrew Ryan secretly built a city under the Atlantic Ocean named Rapture, to avoid the influence of governments and religion on talented artists, scientists and businessmen. But in every society there will be crime, and the smuggler lord Frank Fontaine quickly accumulated large amounts of wealth and power that started to grow even faster when Adam was discovered by Bridget Tenenbaum, a plasmid gathered from sea slags implanted in little girls for harvest that gives users extraordinary abilities. Fontaine built an army of plasmid-enhanced soldiers and started the war to conquer Rapture for himself, but was killed in battle and his plasmid business went to Andrew Ryan, who made a whole industry out of it. And now, after experiments of Dr. Suchong, Adam can be gathered from dead bodies by little sisters, accompanied by their bodyguards, Big Daddies. Unfortunately for Ryan though, a fighter for simple man rights appeared in Rapture named Atlas, who united the poor and led the rebellion to a new civil war, a war between superhuman monsters with only one desire.
They carry Adam, the genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture turning. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it.
And this is where we come in, knowing nothing of what I just said.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
Wait, have you seen it?
You know what? They were right.
Oh, so the main protagonist's name is Jack? Holy shit, it is the only place where his name is mentioned. Nobody calls him by name during the game, and he never introduces himself. At least I think so. Or didn't I pay any attention? Anyway, the plane crashes near a mysterious lighthouse, which we immediately go into. There is no one inside, only a bathysphere that we enter and pull the lever. A bathysphere activates and takes us to Rapture. Wait! Why would I do that? I just survived a plane crash. Why would I go into the bathysphere and start pulling levers in there? It makes no bloody sense. Just honestly tell me, if you survived a plane crash in the middle of nowhere, would you immediately go into a suspicious looking structure, enter strange machinery and start pulling levers? This is just lazy storytelling. No sane person would do such a thing. We're introduced to Rapture, which I must say is quite amazing. Just look how impressive it is.
Would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, Rapture can become your city as well.
And we get a nice warm welcome from the locals.
Is it someone new?
Shortly we are contacted by Atlas, who asks to trust him. Why would I wanna do that? I guess I just don't have a choice, do I?
We're gonna need to draw around a hiding, but you're gonna have to trust me.
Soon we discover a syringe with unfamiliar substance, and of course Jack sticks it right in his veins.
Steady now. Your genetic code is being rewritten. Just hold on and everything will be fine.
Oh, come on now. If entering a bathysphere was strange, this is just stupid. Why would a normal person ever inject himself with an extremely large syringe full of glowing shit? Do writers of this game live on the moon and have never encountered a human being before? Sane people don't do those things! Anyway, that injection gave Jack an ability to conjure lightning, so I guess it was worth it. Atlas contacts Jack again and says that he has a family that we have to save.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe... I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now. But you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again.
And again, why would I want to do that? I don't give two shits about Atlas and his family can rot for all I care. The only thought I had is to escape this hellhole full of monsters. I guess the reasoning is I help him and he gets me out. After a couple of hours of gameplay, Atlas tells us that Ryan went mad and trapped his family in a bathysphere.
My family's in a submarine hidden in the foundation of Fontaine Fisheries. I'll meet you there. Moira! Can you hear me in there, darling?
So dark. If only your friend could look up and see. Maybe... If only you could do something.
So, Atlas's family gets killed, and he's quite pissed.
Moira. Patrick. Ain't that just like Ryan? Wait until we're almost out, then he pulls the string. We'll find the bastard. We'll find him, and we'll tear his heart out.
The next step is to find Ryan, kill the bastard, and get out of this hellhole. It takes several hours to get to Ryan's office, and... why the fuck am I even here? Why the hell do I do those things for people I don't know to kill someone I don't care about? To get out of here? Then stop following orders and try to do it for the Christ's sake! 7 hours of the game make no bloody sense! Let's just kill him and get on with it.
Assassin has overcome my final defense, and now he's come to murder me. In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys. You think you have memories. A farm. A family. An airplane. A crash. And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill, or a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys.
What the fuck just happened?
Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Sit, would you kindly? Stand, would you kindly? Run! Stop! Turn. A man chooses. A slave obeys. Kill! A man chooses. A slave obeys. Obey!
Hurry now! Grab Ryan's genetic key! Now would you kindly put it in that goddamn machine?
Wow, now I feel like an idiot. You won, game. You just won. I didn't expect that at all, and what made no sense whatsoever suddenly became a beautiful picture. And I swear to God, I've never noticed Atlas saying "would you kindly" in 90% of transmissions. And after searching through logs, I realized that Jack is Ryan's son, bought out from his mother and experimented on by Dr. Suchong. How twisted is that? Bioshock, I see how you sit there in your corner, pointing your little disfigured finger at me, laughing and mocking me, but I'll be damned, you deserve that. Anyway, I'm pissed now, but not at the game. Atlas played me like a doll and deserves to die.
Nice work by you all. It's time to end this little masquerade. There ain't no Atlas kid. Never was. Selling my line of work takes on a variety of aliases. Hell, once I was even a Chinaman for 6 months. But you've been a sport, so I guess I owe you a little honesty. The name's Frank Fontaine. I gotta say, I had a lot of business partners in my life, but you, of course, the fact that you were genetically conditioned to bark like a cocker spaniel when I said, would you kindly, might have had something to do with it, but still. Now, as soon as that machine finishes processing the genetic key you just fished off Ryan, I'm gonna run Rapture tits to toes. You've been a pal. You know what they say? Never mix business with friendship. Thanks for everything, kid. Don't forget to say hi to Ryan for me.
You son of a dog! Fontaine, I will pour acid down your eye sockets, you bastard. Thankfully, Jack is saved by Tannenbaum.
Welcome back, child. Welcome to the city where you were born. You are angry at Fontaine, yes? Now you know the truth. You are his tool, brought back to Rapture to save him.
And as a gift, she even broke the mind control that Fontaine had over him. time for revenge.
Now you've got hooked up with Tenenbaum, huh, kid? She's a regular mother goose. Alright, fun's fun, kid. But now, go get stepped on by a big daddy. Would you kindly? Huh? I says, would you kindly go get stepped on by a big daddy? Ah, seems like Mother Goose has been playing around in your egg salad. If you won't dance to that tune, I got others. Code Yellow.
Oh, you cheeky bastard. But Fontaine made a mistake by creating an antidote. 2 doses that Jack needs to go back to normal. One in Fontaine's apartment and one in Suchong's. Nothing stops us from storming into Fontaine's hideout and make him eat his own guts. He manages to escape though, and the only way to catch up with him is to become a big daddy, since only little sisters can open the doors.
Open these doors. You must protect them.
After that, finally, we get to kill the bugger, who is no human anymore, and the only way to defeat him is to drain Adam from him. So we go through 3 stages of the boss, which are all the same except the color.
I had you built! I sent you topside! I called you back, showed you what you was capable of! Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and I tattooed inside your head! Now if you don't call that family, I know what is! And now...
In the end, little sisters jump Fontaine, drain what Adam is left inside him, thus killing him. And you get one of 3 endings, and being a power-hungry son of a bitch I am, I got the worst one, of course.
They offered you everything, yes. And in return, you gave them what I have come to expect of you. Brutality. You took what you wanted. All the Adam, all the power. And the Rapture trembled. But in the end, even the Rapture was not enough for you. Your father was terrified the world would try to steal the secrets of his city. But not you, for now you have stolen the terrible secrets of the world.
The core story of Bioshock is hardly original, but intriguing, has a good twist, and in my opinion best shines in the second playthrough, when all your actions make sense. But honestly, what I liked even more is the setting, the surroundings, and all the twisted characters you meet during your journey through Rapture. That is what made the game for me, and before the purpose of the main character to be in Rapture was introduced, I thought that he's just a nameless plot device that drives us through this peculiar environment on a sightseeing tour, entertaining a player with mindless violence. There are certain characters I like that deserve to be mentioned even though their role in the story is insignificant. First one is Dr. Stallman, a plastic surgeon who got tired of making perfect people and discovered an urge to become a Picasso of flesh. I've never liked hospitals and doctors, but he's something else.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite? She won't stay still! I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong! That one's too fat! This
one too tall! This one too symmetrical! And now, what's this, goddess? An intruder! He's ugly! 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 Ugly!
Second of all is Sander Cohen, an artist that went insane over perfection of art and requires your help to complete his masterpiece. A weird sculpture holding photos of his former proteges. And yes, you have to kill them and take their photos.
It's beautiful.
And the last but not the least is Dr. Su Chong, who is dead by the time Jack arrives to Rapture. The man who created Big Daddy, some plasmids, and was behind the rapid growth and mind control of the main character.
You just empty your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Susha.
Break her neck for me.
What?
Break that sweet puppy's neck.
No, please.
Break that puppy's neck. Would you kindly?
No. No.
Very good.
Enemies you encounter are kinda creepy as well, partially because the unproportional character design that makes them look more like dolls than real humans, and mostly because their weird unnatural movement, which takes time to get used to. Although the enemy variety is kinda poor, throughout the game your enemies will be 90% splicers that just carry different weapons and security bots. I guess spider splices can be a separate enemy type, it doesn't make a huge difference though. But let's not forget about Big Daddies. They are the face of the series and definitely deserve it. There are two types of them, one prefers a giant drill, another a rivet gun, and both are relentless killing machines that will cause you a lot of trouble, especially in the beginning of the game. And there is no other way but to confront them, because you need Adam to enhance yourself. To get it, you need to defeat a Big Daddy and harvest or rescue a little sister. Harvest more than one and you will not see the good ending. Speaking of Adam, let's move on to plasmid upgrade and crafting systems. But first, weapons. There are 7 weapons in Bioshock plus a research camera. In addition, each weapon except the range and the camera of course has 3 ammo types, which makes a whole lot of combinations, each of them useful for certain situations, and can fit any playstyle imaginable. Weapons are also highly stylized, and since with each upgrade unique visual features are added to a gun, you can make even the most boring revolver look cool. However, what I don't like about weapons is the gunplay. Sound assets, kickback, impact are pretty average. Not entirely awful, but nothing special as well. I would like my steampunkish shotgun hit like a blunderbuss, and my revolver sound like a damn magnum. But unfortunately it isn't so. A range hit could have more impact as well. More often than not, the game throws several enemies at you, and in all the chaos the gunplay seems okay. On its own, however, not that great. By the way, is it just me, or if Jack moved just a little bit faster, the combat would be much more engaging and fun. What is good though, that ammo is pretty scarce. And the amount of ammunition you can carry is not big at all, which makes all the weapons very situational and you end up using all of them, switching rapidly for every specific enemy you encounter. And again, the choice depends on your very own playstyle. The thing that stands out is the camera, which is shockingly used to take pictures of your enemies, dead or alive, which increases research level of a certain enemy type, thus giving you bonuses while fighting them, and makes you a psychopath that likes to take pictures of people he just killed. The other set of weapons you have is your plasmids, that can be purchased and upgraded for Adam at special terminals. There is a great variety of them. You can shock people, set them on fire, catapult into the air, force push into walls, freeze, and my favorite, the one and only, you can summon killer bees. Bees! I applaud the person who came up with it. Summoning bees is the best thing in the whole game. I can watch people slowly get eaten by bees for hours. There are also 3 types of tonics that can improve your character: combat, physical, and engineering. And if combat and physical are pretty self-explanatory, engineering deals mostly with a hacking minigame. And you know what is the best thing of Bioshock's hacking minigame? You can totally ignore it. It is never vital for the plot to hack something. Besides, automatic hacking tools are pretty easy to find or make, so you can never hack anything if you don't want to. There is also a simplistic crafting system in the game which comes down to finding useless stuff and bringing it to the machine that makes useful stuff out of it. Weapon upgrade system is simplistic as well. Find a terminal and choose an upgrade. 2 upgrades for each weapons are available, but choose wisely because each terminal can only be used once, and there are not a whole lot of them in the game. By the way, shops in Bioshock are also stylized and even make sense. Since it's basically a free society, you can have guns freely as well. And at some point you find a log where Ryan talks about the marketing value of the design of a plasmid shop, which is pretty amazing.
I'll admit Fontaine showed some foresight when he built up the plasmid business, but the man really never understood sales. Hiding those little girls beneath a bushel. I've just seen the preliminary design work on the new plasmid machines, and they're exactly what I wanted. Mark my words, presented properly, those little sisters are marketing gold.
What I have mixed opinion about is a Vita chamber. You can never die in Bioshock, you just resurrect in the nearest Vita chamber and that's it. So it's possible to literally zerg your enemies, and fighting near a Vita chamber makes you not care about your health at all. There is no punishment as far as I noticed. That makes the game casual and laid back at times. But at the same time there is a lot of twisted shit goes on around you, which is not casual and laid back at all. It makes the action non-stop, but dismissing a death mechanic makes the action not that intense. A Vita chamber is a pretty dodgy choice made by developers, and I wonder if publishers had something to do with it. Because if we get rid of the Vita chamber, the game will be pretty unforgiving, and for instance killing your first couple of Big Daddies will be a nightmare. What I hated the most about the game though is questing. Most quests in Bioshock are fetching quests, and holy shit it is annoying. There was a time in my life when I played WoW, and since then I bloody hate collecting shit for NPCs, be it bear asses or anything else, and in Bioshock finding shit is required to proceed further into the game. And even worse, the last thing you have to do before killing Fontaine is a freaking escort quest, where you have to escort a little sister through a series of hallways so she could open doors for you. Escort quests are never good in any game. Please developers, learn that simple thing. Every gamer can tell you that any game is better if it does not have an escort quest. And in this case, it even contradicts the setting, cause if these are normal little sisters that we're told numerous times are indestructible, why the hell do they die to simple revolver shots? And if these are little sisters that you saved, then what was the point in becoming a big daddy in the first place and spraying yourself with disgusting pheromones? They're not mindless atom collectors anymore, couldn't they just help you? The only redeeming factor about this quest is that you don't get a freaking game over when the little sister dies, and you can get as many little sisters as you want. Well, actually, there is another redeeming thing about Bioshock's questing. It is the level design. Every level has a number of unique features, so you hardly ever feel like roaming the same corridors. And the levels are pretty big as well, so there are always things to explore, and sometimes stuff you find is pretty amazing. Also, certain areas can be totally ignored, even though they hold interesting story elements. The best example, I think, is the Little Sister's Orphanage, which has a big place in the story, but you can totally skip it if you want. And the freedom of choice is always a plus. Bioshock is a pretty solid game and definitely deserves attention. So if you haven't played it yet, you can find it pretty cheap everywhere nowadays. And if the shooting is average at best, you can set people on fire and make killer bees eat their smoking corpses. And the aesthetics are just amazing. If you enjoy wicked steampunkish settings, Bioshock is the game for you. The name's GrrrVahrrr, and I shall see you from within my next video.
Goodbye, goodbye, see you again. Goodbye, goodbye, see you, my friends. Goodbye, goodbye, I had fun today.